Waratahs.
Well, we saw there some clips from Central Coast 7 who were fortunate last night to be at their launch, and they are having parity between the women's and men's competitions there, and a man no slouch to sevens. He certainly is making his mark in the sevens world at the moment. I believe with us this morning is Michael Delore, is it?
Martin
Delore.
Adrian.
Yeah, the youngest of the Delores, Adrian Delore. Do you always, when you look in the mirror, just want to go, Adrian?
Yeah, sometimes. It depends what day it is.
Was Mum and Dad a Rocky fan?
No, we weren't allowed to play it into the house.
You weren't allowed to play boxing in the house?
No, promoted bullying.
Really? Promoted bullying? Yeah. And, of course, we are definitely against bullying on Ruck off. Of course, Adrian, you're in the seven setup, the national seven setup, which is an unbelievable thing. Sevens this year in Rio.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that and what goes into it.
Well, at the moment, I'm just part of the development squad, so sort of just on the fringe and just going there. And I think there's a group of about 15, 20 blokes that have been working for the last sort of six months. So that's just set up to give the blokes a sort of opportunity to come in for the World Series. Yeah,
definitely. So with the World Series, there's the second tier series as well. Do you guys get to do much travelling with the side, and have you played any of the first team stuff?
No, there's been a few blokes that have sort of been pulled up and gave a few opportunities. We've played against them and stuff like that, but we just go down to Narrabeen and nut out against the blokes that don't go over with the tours. So yeah, it's good.
And of course, you've caused quite a stir over the last couple of weeks. You've got your blog. What's the blog's name? Sorry.
Del 362 blog page.
Del 362, named after the great Wendell Sailor, I'd imagine.
Of course.
Yeah, cool.
Chasing white lines.
Yeah, chasing white lines, nice. We're all chasing white lines. I love the song.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's your theme music actually when you run out for the sevens and score all your tries. Well, you caused a bit of a stir, I guess, with the blog, and tell us a little bit about that. And I guess tell us your views as a young player playing in the NHRU, of course, the Rams NHRU, on where you see the competition going, and where do you see, I guess, the strengths of the NHRU competition? Because you've played all around Australia now.
Yeah, I sort of just wrote the blog to sort of promote a bit of community talk about rugby. I think we're sort of getting past the real main point. We're focusing on the Premier Rugby and sort of forgetting about the junior levels, and we're missing a lot of players in that 13 to 18 age group. So I think there's a big talk about the point system, but if we focus on getting some young blokes coming through, I think we don't have to worry about the point system. Newcastle Rugby's strong, but I think just at the moment we're sort of missing the point a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think attracting new players, for me, is a big one as well. And I guess with your sevens background and sevens being an Olympic sport, I think having something like a summer sevens comp open to not just NHRU teams, but other teams as well, played here maybe at number 2 sports ground, have a sort of a summer running competition. I think that's a good way to attract new players. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, sevens is an Olympic sport now. It's on the map. So the more sevens that you do, the bigger it's going to get. It's what people listen to. You know, there's not much rugby on normal TV. It's all on Fox. So I think that's probably where the promotion in the game is. So more the merrier.
And of course on Bar TV, don't forget,
that's it.
Australia's premier grassroots sporting broadcast company. So in regards to Southern Beaches this year, you guys are sitting in 6th, probably not exactly where you want to be at the moment, but I guess you guys are rebuilding, having been decimated in the off-season with some players moving across the lake.
Yeah.
So talk us through that, and how's the club rebuilding at the moment?
Oh, look, this year we're focused on just rebuilding our culture and sort of getting people involved and working hard for each other. I think we're certainly short a few players, but everyone's in there working hard for each other, and we're just focused on making the semis and probably more just working for each other and everyone having a good time. Numbers at training, strength in numbers, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely strength in numbers, power of one, all that sort of
That's
stuff.
it.
And of course, you guys playing the Wanderers last round. It seems ages ago when we played last time. Came unstuck there a little bit. I guess the depth and the experience of the Wanderers size, it got you in the end. And a couple of injuries to both you and your brother as well didn't help.
Yeah, no, there's certainly a division in the sort of top 3 teams and the rest. I think from a Beaches point of view, we're really not that far off it. We've just got a bit of work to do around our defence, and against them big teams, we're leaking 3 or 4 tries that we shouldn't be giving away, and that's 20 points. So I think we've just got to sort of come together and work a bit harder in defence, and we might narrow that gap.
Yeah, for sure. And another surprising match a couple of weeks ago, Hamilton v Maitland. I guess that was an absolute blowout in pretty horrible conditions as well. So Maitland not exactly where they thought they were, maybe.
Yeah, I think...
or Hamilton just better than everyone.
I think Hamilton are a pretty good team, and we've seen it each game. You make a mistake and they'll go 70 metres and score the try. Not taken away from Maitland. I think they've certainly improved in the last sort of year. What they're doing up there is really good. So I think it's just the way you turn up. Hamilton turn up on the day. You've got to put it to them, and if you don't, you're going to get punished.
Yeah, we certainly are, and they certainly did get punished the other day, and a couple of big moments from a couple of weeks ago, and the Bar TV Rams percentage play of the week. I don't know what that's going to go to this week, but it's got to go out in the wet, and I tell you what, there's nothing like a pig in mud. And so every single forward in that Maitland versus Hamilton in those scrums, they all win the percentage play of the week, because the scrums in that were absolutely amazing. 2 big packs going at it, and that's what rugby's all about. I know you don't probably necessarily agree, being a back and wearing a skirt.
Oh, mate, there's nothing more exciting than watching a nice 2 4-packs go against each other.
So here's the play of the week for Rams, celebrating great scrums.
Take everything out.
So there we saw the percentage play of the week. Probably bored everyone to tears. Not the most exciting play, but definitely 2 forward packs going at it, and 2 of the best forward packs in the competition. You ever packed into a scrum yourself there, mate?
Yeah, just on the side.
In sevens?
Yeah. Nah. I just watch it happen.
Yeah,
Stay
definitely
away from that.
So as far as sevens go, there's not really set positions. I guess they're the bigger players playing the scrum, and so where do you fit in?
I'm sort of like a half sort of ball player kind of positions, which is sort of like the middleman. You sort of got your big blokes, your forwards, and then you got sort of centre and middle blokes, and then you got a few big blokes on the wing that are fast. But really, you can't really stay in positions. You're sort of all around the place, I suppose. So.
And how hard is it playing against those bigger Fijian sides that you come against in the satellite tournaments as well? They're amazing, like Yamathea, Tabadamu, and
yeah, mate,
and
their skill is just it's a step above anyone else. It's just they're so good on their ball skills are just amazing. So it's just it's an eye opener.
Well, you had the opportunity of growing up playing on the beaches of Blacksmith. I know it's not a Fijian beach, but certainly have the skills yourself. Coming into the next round of matches, round 9 in the Rams NHRU Premiership. It's going to be a big round, and I guess it's a crunch round, last round of the competition, last round of the first half of the competition. Sorry, Hamilton are leading fairly easily. Wanderers, Maitland, Merryweather, Carlton, and the Waratahs, who are starting to look very dangerous. Of course, the Waratahs and Merryweather Carlton are playing that catch-up game next Wednesday night, or next Thursday night. Sorry. So it's going to be a big couple of days for them. So it's going to be tough for those two sides to come through that unscathed. I know the Waratahs certainly picking up a number of players. So let's go to Hamilton Hawks versus Singleton for our top better round of the week. Who's going to win Hamilton v Singleton at Passmore? And
Hamilton's definitely going to take the chocolates, but there's no denying that Singleton's certainly improving over the last couple of weeks. I think might be a bit closer than we think, but
I don't know about that. I love the Singleton Bulls, and they've got a big function up there in a couple of weeks' time with Billy Birmingham. So make sure you get out to that. It's going to be good. I'll be emceeing, so can't wait for that. Yeah, get around it, get into it, get rucked, and I just can't see Singleton coming away with any sort of points. And to be fair, it's going to be probably about 80 points put on them, I think, anyway.
What's the start? What's the line?
I think it's about 40 at the moment. Ooh. Yeah, so Lake Macquarie taking on Newcastle University. Lake Macquarie, they are a typical Tim Chidgey coach team, coming good second half of the season.
Yeah, I think Lake Macquarie, when we played them a couple of weeks, we were sort of surprised how they're actually a really good team. I think they'll give Uni a good run for the money. They've got a lot of young blokes, and I think the size they'll just overpower them.
Yeah, very good. Now we've got Nelson Bay v Southern Beaches out at the Bay to the Groper Dome.
The Groper Dome.
It hasn't really fired this year for them.
No.
But you guys got a couple of injuries, so your depth's going to be tested. Will you be in or out?
Probably out at this stage.
Are you all right? What's the injury?
So I just got a tear in the back of my shoulder, so I had it injected and sort of just looking away going away for Wales. So don't want to come back too early. So might just sit back, have a few beers, and enjoy the game.
Why not at the Groper Dome? It's one of the most hospitable grounds in this Rams NHRU. Watch it. Don't worry about that. We're on skates here, mate. Then we got the Waratahs V Maitland. Again, this will be a very good match with the Waratahs having a couple of new players come in. The South African centre, unbelievable. And they've got a couple of players back as well, the Waratahs. How do you think that's going to go for Maitland? And I think Waratahs might get this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close to the match of the round. I think Maitland have had a few probably weeks that haven't gone to the way they wanted, so they'll probably be looking to bounce back. It's a flip of the coin. I think I'm going to go with Maitland, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go Waratahs. I'm going to go against you. And I guess the last match, the match of the round, the old grudge match. It's going to be Merryweather Carlton taking on Wanderers. Dan Cavill back against the team that got him suspended last year. There's going to be plenty of spite in this one. It's going to be a fairly even match at the moment. Wanderers, they're above them in points, but I think Merryweather Carlton, they've got a host of players back this weekend, and I think maybe they're going to be too strong. And they're a side, they didn't play too well against Maitland. They had a couple of players out, and they lost that match. And same goes against a couple of the other sides as well, where they've dropped points.
Yeah. I don't like to agree with you, but I think Merryweather are going to run away with it. I think they might win by 10 or 15.
Well, you're telling me you'd rather go for Wanderers?
Oh,
wow.
No,
Say that down the camera lens.
No way. I think, Merryweather are definitely going to. I think they're going to get the chocolates.
Yeah, very good. So onwards and upwards for the Rams NHRU 2016 Premiership. It is the final round in the first round this week. Anyone you'd like to tell to go and get rucked at the moment, Adrian?
A few people told me to go ruck myself.
Really?
In the comments of my blog.
Name and shame.
No, they went by a few aliases, but
Don't you hate that? There used to be a blogger called The Hornet.
Oh,
the Green
I've
Hornet.
heard about him.
He was a dirtbag.
Yeah, no. Harold Pest, I heard.
Yeah, massive pest.
Yeah, so I think they could probably go and get rucked.
Yeah, definitely. And we like what you're doing. We like your enthusiasm for the Rams NHRU 2016 Premiership. I guess, sevens-wise, how do you think the Australian teams are going to go, male and female?
I think the females they're up there to win the gold. I think a lot of people are writing off the blokes. They've improved massively, and I reckon they'll probably go pretty close to a gold medal.
They're going to medal. Very good. Well, you heard it here first on Ruck Off. Everybody, if you don't like what we're saying, go ruck yourself, go get rucked, and have a rucking good time, everybody out there in Bartiva. And, of course, catch the feature match of the round, Merryweather Carlton taking on Wanderers at Townsend Oval at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I'm Gareth Wozniak, and we'll catch you next time.
Bar TV Sports would like to thank Top Better. Get in the game at topbetter.com.au. And Cornelia's Crump, the Bar TV Sports beverage of choice. And Rams Loans for supporting the 2016 NHRU Premiership.